Hey everyone, thanks for clicking on the video. Assuming you're aware and have watched the other bigger channels that have already done their official reviews on the final shape, if you haven't, go watch them. I simply just wanted to wait so that everyone can just enjoy the DLC before I start throwing my opinions around on the internet about the final shape, Echoes, and Frontiers. So the final shape is the end to the Light and Darkness saga, the same story that started in 2014. Yet despite everything, I honestly enjoyed the overall experience of this campaign. However, in typical Destiny fashion, we are constantly shown recap cinematics of the Witness and its plan of the final shape. We finally enter the Traveller and discover that not only is Cade 6 back thanks to Crow, but the Traveller's reshaped itself due to everyone's memories, apparently. Probably the most blatant excuse to recycle old content so far, but funnily enough, they sprinkle in just enough to distract most from it, but that's just my feelings on the whole Pale Heart location. Cade once again becomes my personal favourite character, with little to no challenge from anyone else. His moments with us and other characters like Crow easily proves this, which is why at first I had mixed thoughts about his return. Funnily enough, Bungie must have thought the same, because not only did they allow characters like Zavala and Ikora to have their own individual moments, but they also let each other interact with each other without Cade being there. Aside from that, it's just unfortunate because Cade doesn't really do much outside of talking a bunch, kicking screams with Crow, and then giving up his life to bring back our ghost, somehow. The Witness, however, while absolutely being more involved in its own story than most, if not all, campaign bosses before it, including Rightful, ironically, continues its usual attempts to manipulate both you, the player character, and the characters around you. It's just unfortunate that you don't really get to see that, just the aftermaths. For example, Crow in his guilt from his past life as Aldrin, Zavala and his family, or Ikora and the thrill of her victories in the Crucible, or whatever the raid lore says about her. Regardless of that, it doesn't come close to the biggest irritation of Ghost constantly reiterating everything you've just witnessed, almost as if Bungie doesn't trust that its own audience will understand the emotional complexity of everything that's happening. Outside of that, the exotic missions were alright at best, if not a little stretched out, but honestly, with the amount of guides that came flying onto YouTube, it was pretty much trivial. I had the Kvostov quest done at around 10 to 15 minutes tops. The Microcosm quest, involving the special cooperative version of the 3 campaign missions, again, trivial, so long as you have a means to communicate with others, to do the whole sharing the debuff, which kind of reminded me of Skolas from House of Wolves. And then the exotic class item from the mission Dual Destiny, which definitely caused the more solo members of the community to be upset, given that they couldn't obtain the exotic due to needing one other friend. And while I do mostly understand that, at the same time it's just unfortunate, because while LFG does have its reputation for being not pleasant, at the same time this game is revolved around friendships. As for Echoes, content mostly being similar to Seasons for the most part. It's just unfortunate because Bungie did put it across to the community as different, which I assume gets interpreted as a better. if you've watched Mylin's reviews of the Act 1 of Echoes, he pretty much says what he likes and what he doesn't like, and for the most part I would agree. It's just that with a game like Destiny, if you don't put time gates on your smaller episodic structured content, then more likely than not, committed players are just gonna play all of it without realizing they've finished it already, and then simply, question is that it? Like, are we done? It's just unfortunate because I'm pretty sure it's a analytical side of Bungie management, so they can just pat themselves on the back and say, oh, look at how many regular players we have coming in each week. And I'm pretty sure there's not much we can do about that. Frontiers, the supposed Destiny 3, as many have said with copious amounts of desire, and while I would agree a Destiny 3 would be nice for something like leaving the solar system, it's just that when you watch the footage, it's got a Destiny 2 on the side of it, so that pretty much sums what it's going to be to me. I mean, it's probably what they're gonna have in response to large content drops such as the final shape and so on. I mean, the entire concept of leaving the solar system to go beyond could easily be the next big thing for Destiny, which I hope it does lead into. When I first heard that the story of the light and darkness saga was coming to an end, I was genuinely confused because I thought everything that Destiny was revolved around the light and darkness. So the only possible explanation would be that it's not over because the winnower has contacted us recently. Yeah. Aside from that, the final shape as a whole, for those of us who have been part of this franchise for a while, I would honestly give it 6, maybe 7 out of 10 for overall DLC stories, which in terms for Bungie and Destiny, probably about an 8 or a 9. It's just, I don't agree with Astacross when he says it's Game of the Year worthy. I think that belongs to Shadow of the Erdtree, which I hopefully look to play. If you stuck around to listen to my complete and utter nonsense of a review of Destiny, The Final Shape, Echoes, and Frontiers, I thank you very much, and I hope you've enjoyed. My upload schedule is non-existent, but I'll make a video when I feel like one's necessary. But anyways, once again, thanks for watching to the end, and I'll catch you some other time.